Hey guys, we're back in the workshop today working on the Cyclekart, doing some upgrades on it. Last time we put some new spindles on the front. That made a huge difference. Can't wait to get that on the road and try it out. Next thing we're going to do is upgrade our rear hubs. So we're going from, this is Sousa style hub, which is made for ATVs or go-karts. And typically what we do is we take these bolts, you cut them in half. See, they're kind of cut down so that they'll fit the Honda wheel. So they slide in like that. And then you drill new holes on the other side and bolt it through. So you're drilling extra holes in the wheel to mount these things. And on one of my other wheels, this cracked a little bit. It's carrying a lot of load on that little bit of aluminum webbing. Another thing that's happened, I think, is a result of this basically sitting on the surface of this little lip right here. It basically crushed this aluminum a little bit to where the Kart Co hub would not fit. So if you're converting from this type of hub to a Kart Co hub, you might want to take a quick measurement of this part right here, where my finger's at, this little detent right here. It sits on basically right on the, what would be the brake on the motorcycle. So the Kart Co hub is designed to fit into here, just like that, nice and smooth, pretty much flush with the top of this housing. But I think mine is, when I looked at one of the new hubs or new wheels the Kart Co had in stock, this is pretty much flat right here as you put your finger in there, but mine is splayed open a little bit all around. So I think that was a problem. Jack was kind enough to machine this down to where it fit this wheel, but I have a feeling if I were to ever upgrade to a new wheel, this probably won't fit. So if you're doing a conversion from, like I said, this type of hub to the Kart Co hub, you might need to measure this space in here with a caliper and just confirm with Jack at Vintage Kart Co that your new hub will fit without having to be machined, because if he mails it to you, obviously he can't fix it to make it fit your hub. So if you know ahead of time, he can probably mill it down for you to make sure it fits your application. So if you go in with a new wheel, especially the ones from Vintage Kart Co, they'll fit right in, no problems at all. So the way this works is this slides in this side. Of course, there's some bolt holes in the back, and on the front, mine's painted, but 4 holes in the front. This mounts right in the front there. Your new bolts go through there, and so that puts all the weight right on the hub itself, not on that webbing on the inside. So that's a lot better setup, a lot stronger. I don't think they've had any failures on these with this design, because it spreads the load out pretty well. I think the only ones they've ever had a problem with are somebody wrecks and actually wipes out their spokes. That's the only thing I've ever seen, but that's a wreck, and what do you expect if you're wrecking your cart? But this holds up really well. All the guys I've seen that use these, super strong, haven't had any problems. And in fact, these I think have been pretty strong. However, with mine, because I drilled mine with a drill bit instead of using like a mill or something, I think some guys who have a mill or maybe even a drill press would be able to get these things exactly, these new holes, exactly perfect. Mine aren't quite perfect. So when I went to rotate my wheels from one side to the other, because my driving wheel was getting some loose spokes, I was going to switch it over. That's when I discovered the cracked webbing. So upgrade time. So tossing this out, going with this. So I'll take you over. I've already got the other side on. I'll kind of show you what this looks like. So this is what it looks like bolted up. You can see the 4 nuts on the outside. I added washers. They didn't come with the extra washers, but I thought, well, probably a good idea. So you can see this new outside flange has a little bit of a flange on the outside, a little bit of a lip, because it sits right on this inner hub that's in here and kind of rests on this area on the wheel. The back side, pretty much like I showed you. If I can get enough angle on this. So I put a collar here, locking collar, to locate the wheel or the hub, but also to keep in case it's loosened up, we don't lose our keyway. To keep this is the power wheel. So you can see this a little shorter. So this bare area is where the other hub covered up. So this is a little shorter this direction, but it works just fine. Now I'm going to show you on the other side a little bit of concerned area, so I'll explain that in a second. So the Vintage Kart Co hubs are designed to be used with a differential, which is what this is. I'm not going to use a differential right now, I might upgrade later, but there's a difference right here. You see where my finger's at? That's about a 1/4 inch. And on the hubs that we're all using, the solid axle, it's a much bigger space right here. See how big it's almost as big as my finger, so about a 1/2 inch. So what ends up happening is, because these hubs are designed specifically for a differential, when we go and put this on here, sorry the camera's bouncing around because I'm doing this with one hand, it slides on and no threads are showing in there, so it works perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and use a washer and a locking nut, but you see there's no threads in there, or there are threads there rather, there's not a collar showing. So when I pull this off, walk it over to this one, we slide this on, we would, and we can see there's a little bit of a space. I hope this camera can focus. A little bit of a space right here. So to solve that, we're going to space it back a little bit, right about there, to where you've got full threads on here, so the nut has something to lock to. And we'll put a locking collar on here. So that's the purpose of the locking collar on the driver's side, also to hold the cutter key. But we're not going to key this wheel. So this one's going to be free floating, but it's going to have a locking collar here to keep the whole assembly from sliding back and forth. So it's nice and snug. So that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so I have the collar on, and let's talk about Loctite. All these collars that are on here, all the set screws that are on here, need to Loctite these. I've seen some guys run these without Loctite. They're falling off during action and racing. Their axle's shifting over, it's throwing the chain off, stuff like that. That's all avoidable. A little bit of blue Loctite works great. You could use the red stuff, but occasionally you'll need to take these parts apart, and red is probably not necessary. These aren't getting real hot. So this is already Loctited, ready to go. The set screw on here, here's a set screw right here. I Loctited this just to keep it clean, because this is going to get grease in it, because it's going to be freewheeling. So that nut is there inside where the keyway's at. That holds your, if you're going to key the axle, if you're doing a differential, now should you put a key in there to key your axle. That slides right on there. Then we're going to put the washer and bolt on next and mount the wheel. Okay, so this bolt is on. This is a 3/4 inch by 16 nut. I said bolt, it's a nut. I think this comes when you buy your bearings from Azusa, although I'm not sure. I went and bought new ones at Ace because my old ones just didn't quite look right. When you go on and off a few times, the nylock gets a little bit loose. So it's a good idea when you're doing stuff like this just to buy a new bolt or a new nut. I keep saying bolt, nut. That way, a little more confidence it's not going to loosen up. So this is a free spinning one. It's got some grease in there, so it doesn't wear too much on the axle. It rides really nice. You have to leave it a little bit loose. I tightened it and then backed it off about, I don't know, quarter turn, just to where it spun freely without too much friction. You don't have to be loose or wobbly. This is not wobbly at all. It's not walking at all. Got the crescent, or not the crescent wrench, the locking pliers on here just to keep the axle from spinning because both tires are off the ground. So that's ready to have the wheel mounted. Okay, so this is all done. The wheel spins real nice. That'll finish up this video. Check out CyclekartClub.com. Our Arizona Club is on Facebook, ArizonaCyclekartClub.com. So if you're interested in cycle carts and you're in Arizona, or if you're not, we've got members all over the world on our site. So feel free to join us there. If you have any questions about what we're doing here and any questions about cycle carts, feel free to message me or leave a comment. If you like our video, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.